Today, we are going to be analyzing the CATAN 2025 World Championship Finals played by 4 national champions on an insanely challenging triple or pile board.
3-weight at the top. Oh, that's an interesting looking board.
Keep watching because it's about to get crazy. Placing in the first position, we have Cahulan playing as orange representing Canada. Cahulan places his settlement on the 9-5-10 or wheat pick. As first, this is an excellent decision by him for a few key reasons. The first key reason here is that the 9-5-10 is one of the highest producing spots on this board. It's very important on your placement strategy to identify all the high producing spots first and then start your evaluation from there. The next key to this position is that you are taking the best ore production on the board. You see, ore is one of the best middle to late game resources, so by orange taking control of that resource early, it will be a great strategic asset as the position builds. It's really one of those situations where you either take it now or you lose the opportunity in the game. And the last thing you'll notice with this pick is that there are a lot of options available for his second settlement. In Catan, you have to be aware of not only your first pick, but potentially what's your second pick. We will get to his second pick later in the video, but he's correctly identified he's got some great outs to work with. All of that being said, there are some potential issues with the 9-5-10 though. The first one being is that the 10 wheat isn't really the best wheat on this board. Given that he produces twice as much ore as wheat from a probability standpoint, this could pose some hand management issues where he's struggling to actually use his ore. There are a few ways to solve this, such as trading more to fix your hand, maybe you're going to be porting for the resources that you need, or you can use the robber on the knights and sevens to steal the resources you're looking for. The other consideration here is that as of this moment, the wood port is questionable if it's useful or not. There is wood production on this board, but until he places his second settlement, we will not know the utility of that port. Maybe a 3-1 port might serve him a little bit better. I guess we're going to have to find out. In the second position, we have Raul playing as red, representing Mexico. Raul decides to take the 9-5-10 wood sheep wheat on the right side of the board. In my opinion, Raul is in a weird spot no matter where he goes here. If he takes the 6-5-11 securing the other ore spot on the 5, third and fourth pick could take the remaining wheat spots, and Raul will be forced to play without wheat. Going without wheat is one of the hardest things to do in Catan and usually not advised, even at the championship level. If red takes the 8-4-3 at the top to control the wheat, the board will most likely lock him out of the pairing spots and give him a 2-3 resource game with no ore. The 8-4-3 with no ore is not easy for even the best players. With red keeping it simple and taking the 9-5-10, he has a few things working for him here. The first is that he has resource diversity by getting 3 unique resources on his first pick, the wood, sheep, wheat. I am a big fan of this, especially when you don't know exactly what you're going to get on the way back, because then at least you give yourself some options and opportunities. He's also going to have a 3-1 port on the 5 sheep, which is almost guaranteed, and a potential sheep play, which he's most likely going to have to contest with whoever takes the 8-10-3 here in the bottom right. Overall, he does have some workable outs as well, where he's going to either be able to pick up some brick or ore and kind of give him a game that which he can scrap up. Still challenging, but he's got options. All of that being said, red has a tough game if third and fourth place properly. Now we have Guido representing Italy in the third position as white. He correctly takes the 6-5-11 brick ore wood pick, which takes the remaining best ore on the board. He also points his road to the right, believing that he can pick up the 9-3-11. Pointing right here is a risky decision because he is calculating that the 9-3-11 is open, but it's not guaranteed. If he is right, he will get a great reward, but if someone takes that spot, it might end his game before it even starts. If you wanted to play on the safer side, you take the 6-5-11, but you point up to the 4-11. This way you are getting a guaranteed settle spot and not running the risk of losing on the 9-3-11. Overall, I like this pick here for white, and given that he is going third and he just has to worry about fourth right now, he's almost guaranteed a workable second option. In the fourth position, we have David playing as blue, representing Hong Kong. For a quick fun fact for you, I was at this tournament as well, representing the United States as their 2024 national champion, and David and I played in the semifinals, and he ended up winning that game to get to this table. It was a great time. I had a ton of fun, and David was a great guy. Super excited for him in this game. David takes the 8-4-3 wheat wood wheat at the top and the 6-4-3 brick sheep brick at the bottom, pointing towards the 8-4. I absolutely love these two settlements for him as it gives him a few strategic advantages. First of all, he's going to have great starting production, which, as we mentioned on the first settlement, is a key to success in Catan. He also gets the best wheat on this board, which I think has a lot of trading potential and is quite useful at all stages of the game. Lastly, he's got incredible expansions to work with. He is pointing towards the 8-4, which is a huge 8-point spot, picking up more sheep on this board, and he can build to the 6-3 here at the top to pick up the wheat port and the 6 wood to pair with the 6 brick. This will be a wonderful setup if he can get to those spots quickly. David did take the brick sheep as his second settlement resources, and I wasn't quite sure about this. I think it made a little bit more sense for him to take the wheat wood pick so that he had the starting wood in his hand so he could roll a brick, but then he could also use those 2 wheat as trading resources early in the game. I do think this was a slight suboptimal decision by blue, but not game-breaking by any means. Overall, it's a strong position with great potential. We are back now for white's second settlement, and honestly, he does something that surprises everyone here and places directly on the 8-10 sheep port, pointing his road inward. Whoa! Interesting decision for sure. The main reason why white would take the 8-10 over the 8-10-3 is that he doesn't have to race red to the sheep port. And by pointing inwards, he is making the claim that he is going for longest road. I do think there is some advantage in pointing down here so that maybe he can open up another settle spot on the 8, but it is what it is. He's making a statement to start this game. There are some major problems with this though. If orange takes the 9-3-11, white's game is effectively finished. Also, as a road player, you ideally need space and settlement spots in close proximity. Usually this is road settles as they are fast points for the road player. After white settles 9-3-11, assuming it's even open, his next settlement is 2 roads away. It could be a slow and risky setup if he is getting heavily blocked or his rolls aren't hitting early on. On red's second next settlement, he takes the 6-11-12. It does give him the brick to pair with the 9 wood and the potential road to the 9-12, which picks up the 9 ore and the brick port. It truly becomes a case of how quickly can red expand his position with his rolls and trades. With Raul being in a visibly tough position, he should avoid some early robs and get some favorable trades to make sure he stays in the game. And finally, we go back to orange for the final placement of the championship finals. This decision has the ability to destroy some positions with his pick. Before we discuss, pause the video and let us know what you would take here as the final pick for orange. Pause now and comment below, what would you take? For orange here, you have 3 clear spots to evaluate. We have the 9-3-11 wood brick, the 8-4 sheep 3-1 port, or the 6-2 ore port building to the 5-2. Let's break these down one by one. Starting with the 9-3-11, this one is interesting and in my opinion, the toughest pick to justify. You get a starting road where you can go to the wood port immediately, which is nice, but with only the 9 and the 11 wood, it feels a bit unimpressive, especially since you are foregoing the sheep production altogether. A single block on the 9 wood would kill your wood port flexibility. Still playable though. Now, how about the 8-4-3-1 port? I like it. Since Orange will look to fight development cards to get largest army, having the best sheep in a starting port will be a great addition to that objective. If Orange focuses on sitting the 9-5-10 as soon as possible, he will have a city and port ready to consistently buy development cards and lock down the largest army. There's also a hidden strategic secret in Orange taking the 8-4. By taking away that spot from Blue, it shifts Blue's focus to where he will be most likely focusing on longest road and stay away from the army strategy. After losing the 8-4, Blue would be incentivized to focus on expanding to the 6-3 wheat port and play more of an expansion road style game. The more Orange can push players away from his key strategy, the easier it will be for him to win the game. The biggest drawback of the 8-4 though is that you are playing only ore, wheat, and sheep, as you have no natural wood or brick production. This isn't too bad because you are starting with a 3-1 port at the beginning of the game, and with the right trades, robs, and development cards such as the Road Builder or Year of Plenty, you could easily get wood and brick to build future settlements as needed. All of that being said, Orange ended up taking the 6-2 ore port, pointing his road to the 5-2 sheep. Quite the diplomatic decision, as he is not taking away spots from white or blue. This is a great decision, and with the 6 wood being coordinated with the 6 brick, it will guarantee that whenever Orange gets wood, there will be bricks on the board to trade. After Orange settles on the 5-2, he has access to the sheep, which will help allow his development cards to flow, and the wood port will play nicely with the 6 wood that he has. With Orange's first city always going down on this 9-5-10, the ore port will be a great addition to his strategy, offering him a lot of flexibility and explosive potential. If you had to ask me which pick would I choose here for first as his last settlement, I think I would have to go with the 8-4 here. It's a wonderful starting port, it also limits Blue's ability, and I think you can consistently buy development cards assuming you can drop an early 9-5-10 city. There's a lot of great players that like all three options, so from that standpoint, it is partially stylistic in how you like to play the game. So after it was all placed out, who would I take to win this game to become the world champion? I like both Orange's ore domination and Blue's huge expansion play and weak control here. When you've played enough Catan, you know that placement strategy is critical, but it's not everything. These players are highly skilled, the communication is going to be on point, so there's a lot of opportunities to trade and balance the game to where every player has a real shot to win. After an intense 2-hour battle, Orange's ore pile control proved to be too strong for this board. CATAN of Canada was able to win this game with 1 settlement, 1 victory point, and 4 cities. That's the power of having the best ore on this board. Before you go, let's discuss some major Catan tips to learn from this game. Tip number 1 is to remember that ore and wheat are very valuable to scaling into the middle game and end game. Even though Orange didn't get the largest army as he intended on, he was still able to use the ore port and the ore production to build quickly and to scale into the end game to win it all. Tip number 2, and it's probably not as evident from this video, but if you go back and watch the final, CATAN kept a great composure and kept his focus in this game. Not once did he get angry or frustrated and flip the table, which, look, we've all done it. But you have to remember that Catan is a competitive social game, and the ability to keep a cool, calm, collected demeanor will always be a strategic asset in closing the game out. Big congratulations to CATAN for becoming the World Catan Champion. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to learn more Catan, don't forget to give a like and subscribe. You'll learn a ton on how to crush at Catan from a USA National Champion and #1 online ranked player. Stay great, my friends, and happy settling.